Alright everyone, welcome once again to Savage Squirrel's Lunch Break. I'm Scott Savage Squirrel, and today is the 23rd episode of my Final Fantasy VII series, and it's going to be the last. Actually, maybe not. I'm going to take on Sephiroth today, but I may do in the future videos of chocobo breeding or some other stuff that I had missed in the game. But today I got a couple loose ends to tie up, some scenarios that I missed that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go back to the northern cave and get the job done. Alright. Get that out. And we can finally get started. I realized I did not do this scene. This is Vincent's background story, which I did not discover in my original playthrough of the game. I did on the second playthrough by accident. I just stumbled upon this place, and the first playthrough. See, now I remember the first playthrough. When I first beat the game, I did not find Yuffie or Vincent. I played the game without them doing any of those scenarios. So my first playthrough of the game, I was disappointed because I felt the game was too short, and I felt like I just blew through it. And I'm like, well, I didn't find these other characters. So that's when I went back and played it again, played it the second time. But when I had the Japanese version, I had multiple save slots, so I can go back at any point in time and find whatever I had missed. And this is one of the scenes that I found later on. See, Vincent gets shafted here. Not only does Hojo take his girlfriend, but he turns him into a monster. I really like what they did with the Rebirth version of him, making him a boss battle. I thought that was a really good idea. Really surprised they didn't make some kind of boss battle here, something. That might change in the part 3 of the remake series. Who knows? Makes sense. And then you go back and you get Vincent's final. Wait. Really? Isn't he supposed to get something here? Did I do something wrong? I thought there was something supposed to be there. I swear to God, I thought she leaves something behind. Did I fuck this up somehow? Or maybe I gotta come back later, I don't know. I'll come back in a bit. And the other thing I missed was the downed Gienka or whatever the plane. The Shinra plane, that's the other part I missed. Up a bit. No, it's not over there. Gotta be careful not to. There's the reactor. Turn off the encounters. How to get up there. Oh. There's something down there. There's another material. I thought there was a material over here. Maybe this is part of the plan. Oh wait. See, normally you would have to fight the Turks down here, but because I already went through the scenario and they don't want to fight anymore, they're not here. So now I just go down here and collect all the crap. I'm not fighting anything because I just want to hurry up and get this stuff. Material over here, why can't I get it out? I got it now. Cool shit here. I always get lost here. Let's see if I can get it now. Yeah, I thought I can get Vincent's limit break here. Maybe because I haven't leveled him up or anything. No worries. Oh, there is another thing I need to do. I'm just giving them materia so that they can have something when I fight Sephiroth. They're not completely without anything. we fight Sephiroth, I don't want these. I don't want them to be completely devoid of decent weapons. This is usually my main party fighting Sephiroth. I don't have ribbons, so I'll use peace rings for the other two characters so that they don't get confused. Because confusion is what kills us. We've seen that in the past. Okay, let's get to work. Oh wait, there is one more thing I need to do. I gotta go to Cosmic Canyon. There's still a scenario I haven't done there either. Oh, hang on. See, if we haven't done this scene, he would have survived. This is another thing I didn't find out until way later, too. Second or third playthrough or some shit like that. Yes, he dies too. So if you had not done this scene, he would have survived. If you had not gone here. Okay. I'm gonna bum rush through this. I did some grinding yesterday and today too. Morphed to get some items. I wanted a Tetra Elemental. I got a couple of those. And Cloud's got his 4th Living Parade. And Tifa does too. I didn't do all of them. I'll eventually do them later, but for right now, for the purpose of this video, I more or less want to just get it done. Because it's been like 3 months. I went down both ways and got everything. Alright, here we are. Finally. Let's do this. It's Mosey. Later. See, I like that. When the characters look at each other and nod, that's like they do that in all the Final Fantasy games. Especially I remember Final Fantasy IV when the players would look, all the characters would look at each other and nod. Like they did that here. I love it. The only thing that sucks, you can't go back, so you can't like grind here or anything. I think some of these monsters have Shadow Flare too, but even if you learn it here, you're only gonna be able to use it for the last battle. And this is a weird spell. See if you learned it. That's one spell. Here we are. I don't think I ever lost against Shinobu. Yeah, one night's in the round and she's done. It's just been. That's why I love nights in the round, but it just makes the game way too easy. I want at least a little bit of a challenge to it. Can't go that fast. That's never fucking happened to me before. Ever. In fact, Genova's never done that attack on us, ever. That countdown never happened. Because we decimated her right away. In her normal playthrough, I would have decimated her like that. Like if I play the game on my Switch, where I have everything, I'd totally annihilate it. Like I said earlier, this is not my best playthrough. I kind of bum rush through it just so I can make the video. And then, you know, I'll go later and find all the other shit and do grinding and get up to level 99 or whatnot. He's got no lines. See how they're floating around here? If you notice in Rebirth, when you're in the ancient temple and you hit one of the switches and it rotates around, they float just like this. Exactly like this as the stage is turning. That was another thing I noticed in that game. Only two big parties, two groups this time. So they used to, I think it just depends what you got when you make three. They're all weak, but it don't matter. still baffled why they used this particular boss at the end of Rebirth. It's kind of confusing. And why he moves so slow is just drives me crazy. Ah! Underleveled party with really bad magic. Oh, come on, hurry up. Oh! It kills. That's not good. I forgot all about that. I just keep going back and forth. Quit flexing. Just attack already, damn it. Ugh, this guy. Oh, I don't think I wanted to do that. kind of did that by accident. God, why is it taking so long to get rid of this guy? Because I can't spam Ultima over and over and over again because I only have one materia. That's what I usually do. I usually spam Ultima and nice it around and this guy's obliterated. Not difficult. Oh, there, finally! Alright, if he beats me, or if he's beating on me, I'm gonna cheat. I do not have Knights of the Rounds. I do have Peace Ring, so he can't confuse me. Oh, see, he has Shadow Flare too. slow down. Also use it. Where's all my fucking items? Let's speed this up. We'll make a sandwich by the time this thing casts. The Japanese version did not have this spell like this. It was a dumbed down spell. It lasted like a second. Nothing like this. This was added to the North American. I had a peace ring and he still got silenced, but it didn't last. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe this will finish him off. Well, there you have it. He's been defeated. I knew I was strong enough to beat him, but normally I blow him out of the water. I'd completely obliterate him. But I didn't do any serious grinding, or I didn't have all the fucking nifty, neat fucking materials. I beat them on lower levels. Usually the music doesn't play when he dies, though. Usually it stops. That's cool. We're not done yet. According to Sephiroth, we're not done yet. Trippy stuff here. This is materia, the white materia. There he is. I remember when I first saw this, I almost shit my pants. And at first I was like, oh my god, another boss battle, I was flipping out. But then you do this. Before you got the Omni Slash, you know, in the game, I didn't know you could get it until later. This was the only time I saw it when I first played it, my first playthrough. I had no idea you can get it before this battle. And if you try to block him, he hits you, but you still win the fight. Yeah, if you try to defend yourself, you don't attack him, he still dies. Biggest tease in game history. You think, oh my god, she's back, Ares is back, and it's no. The only thing I hated about this release of the game was that in the ending, Yuffie and Vincent are absent. You don't see them at all. They didn't have enough time to put them in the ending. That's the only thing that, when I first played it, I thought, oh, if I get them, they'll be in the ending. No, they're not. So even if you have them, you won't see them. It's implied that they're there. You know they're there. But that's pretty cool. That would be cool if you could use that version of the airship flying around. That'd be awesome. Does that mean all the chocobos you have in the plane they're dead? Are they dead because you just jettisoned the rest of the fucking airship? Not an ordinary meteor. Very slow-moving meteor. Probably designed to give the planet a nice slow death. And here comes Holy. No, maybe the Chocobo survived on that ship. That ship's big enough. And this video is going to take longer because the ending is long as hell. Here comes the live stream, controlled by Eris. Holy didn't work, so there's Plan B. Plan B is to use a live stream itself to do its thing. Over an hour. I didn't think it would take me this long to do it. I thought I'd just go in there and fucking boom, 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 Sephiroth's gone. But, you know, I never didn't factor in the ending and other shit that I did before this. And right here is where I thought that she came back to life. When I first saw that, that was what I got from it. I'm like, she's back. She came back to life at the end to save them. That's what I thought. Until I saw Advent Children, and then, you know, that argument ended right there. But my first playthrough, when I beat it, you know, relatively quickly, I was like, wow, this game is short. It felt short to me because I never done all the extra shit. I never got Yuffie, I never got Vincent, I never did anything. So I was like, well, I always thought that those characters were not additional characters, but part of the the main group. So it was a surprise to me that that's not how they did it. They just didn't have enough time to put them in their scenarios in as part of the main story. You had to go and find all that shit. Just like you had to go look for things like Zack's background story where he gets shot. If you didn't go back to the Shinra mansion, you would have never seen it. So you had to find a lot of stuff in this game to get the whole story. You couldn't just they didn't give it to you. You had to actually go out and do shit, which was a nice thing that they did because it encouraged you to play the game more than once. So I thought that was a pretty decent idea. I mean, for what they produced, it was a really amazing game of its time. Because the jump from Final Fantasy VI to VII was like a significant jump. You know, there was a lot of first-time things going on here. You know, 3D battles, 3D backgrounds, the CGI, and all that shit. Just was a huge jump for Square. The Squaresoft at the time. But that's why this game is a timeless classic. And even with all the remakes and all the mods that people are making, you still can't beat the original because that's just the way we played it back then. That's why I always like to keep it like this, because maybe new gamers can will appreciate a game with better graphics because they weren't living at that time, so the game seems dated to them. For those of us that have played it early when it came out, that was a big deal back then. That was all top of the line graphics, 3D graphics, and for a PlayStation game, it was phenomenal. I still go back to this game all the time. Every few years I gotta play it again. It'll probably be a while. But what I'll probably do, if I do make any more videos, I'll go and do all the other shit that I didn't do, like the chocobo breeding and fighting the extra weapons. I've only beaten one of them. Remember, the Japanese version didn't have them, so the North American version had the 2 additional ones. Oh, and then you had to fight the diamond weapon too. But the 2 additional difficult ones, I only beat the emerald weapon. I never, the fucking ruby one, it's too lazy to figure it out, so I figured I'd do that at another time. I'll eventually get that one. That's the only thing I haven't done in the previous game that I played. What would have been nice is if they had some kind of, graphics or something playing in the background as they're showing the credits like they do in most games. That would have been a really nice touch. Chinese Friday. Now I get to see the 500 years later. Alright, here we go. 500 years later. We all know what happens. Those of us that played the game 100,000 times, seen this 100,000 times, but it is still impressive every time we see it. And when we first saw this, it was like we had to use our imagination to know what happened to all the humans on the planet, because they didn't, Advent Children wasn't out yet. It didn't come out until years later, so we just assumed that, we didn't know if the characters lived or not. You know, the planet got rid of all the people and just left, you know, the animals there. But and there you go, the ruins of Midgar, flourishing with life. And there you have it, folks. Final Fantasy VII. Finally done it. 3 months later, we're finally finished. I can play something different. You know what? I thought that they were supposed to have the end with the stars. Maybe that's a different Final Fantasy. I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, we're done. We're finished. This is it. Maybe I'll do some other videos later, way later. But I'm gonna play some different games now. So I'm glad I got this done. So if you're new to the channel, please like or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And those of you that have been around during the entire adventure, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm glad someone's watching it. But I had fun doing it, so it didn't matter to me. Alright, this is Savage Squirrel, signing out.